My family dumped my stuff on the lawn and kicked me out on my birthday. No warning, no, we're sorry, just boxes like I was trash. 6 months later, those same people showed up at my new apartment and tried to call it a family asset. I was 27, working as a marketing assistant, living with my parents and my younger brother in a cramped house that always had that sour, stale smell in the hallway. I paid a big chunk of the bills, bought groceries, and fixed whatever broke. My mom loved to hit me with, "When are you getting a real job?" My brother did nothing but scroll and smirk. Looking back, I was basically their roommate they got to bully for free. A week before my birthday, I told them I'd bought myself a fancy cake and wanted to just hang out. "We'll see," my mom said, flipping a magazine page like I was background noise. That's when I realized my expectations were the real problem. On my birthday, I came home feeling weirdly hopeful anyway. I had that cake in the passenger seat. Then I saw it, my clothes, books, and keepsakes, piled in collapsing cardboard on the front lawn. My parents and my brother stood on the porch like they were waiting for an Uber. "What's going on?" I asked. "It's time for you to move out," my mom said, flat as concrete. I kept wondering if this was some cruel prank. It wasn't. My brother shrugged. "Maybe you shouldn't have been such a burden." I loaded my life into my car with shaking hands while they watched. My dad stared at the ground the whole time, like eye contact would cost him money. When I asked, "Why today?" my mom said, "Consider it our gift to you. Independence." I drove off with the cake sliding on the floorboard. I spent that night in a cheap motel with a flickering neon sign buzzing through the wall. The blanket felt like sandpaper. I sat on the bed surrounded by boxes and tried to figure out what a person does after her own family makes her homeless for fun. I promised myself I'd never rely on them again. The next day I went into work and basically lived there. The office smelled like burnt coffee at midnight. My boss noticed and pulled me aside after hours. "You're not okay," she said. I told her everything and she offered me her spare room. I moved in and worked like my life depended on it. More projects, freelance gigs, less sleep. Then I got promoted, with a raise, and finally signed a lease on a place that was mine. A few weeks after that, my brother called out of nowhere. His voice was smaller than I remembered. "I need help," he said. I laughed. "You mean money?" "Dad lost his job. Mom's spending is out of control. I can't afford school. Was I really supposed to rescue the people who tossed me out like garbage?" "Sounds like a you problem," I said. "Don't call me again." And I hung up before my guilt could talk. Then they showed up in person. I checked my door camera and saw my parents and my brother on my porch. My stomach dropped, the same way it did on my birthday. I opened the door and my mom walked in like she was inspecting a rental. "Wow," she said, scanning my living room. "You've done well. We're here to talk about living arrangements." My dad mumbled. My brother smirked. "Time to be a family again." My mom tilted her head. "This apartment is basically a family asset." Then the scene went slow. My mom planted herself in my doorway. Then she said, "This place has space for all of us." "Next." My brother nodded like it was already decided. After that, my dad wouldn't meet my eyes. My mom added, "We gave you the push you needed." Then she smiled and said, "You should thank us." My brother rolled his eyes. "Stop being dramatic." And my mom finished with, "If you fight us, we'll go legal." Something in me clicked quiet. This was the moment I understood they didn't miss me. They missed my money. I pointed at the open door. "Get out." My mom hissed that I was ungrateful. My brother muttered, "Selfish." They left anyway, and I changed the locks that night. I stood there listening to their footsteps fade, and for the first time, I didn't feel like chasing them. A few days later, my best friend, also a lawyer, helped me file a restraining order. My parents started spreading stories that I abandoned them, but I didn't chase their lies. My friend dug deeper and found what they were really panicking about: years of debt, tax issues, and fake paperwork catching up to them. I couldn't tell if they were more angry or scared, but either way, it wasn't my problem anymore. The IRS didn't care about their guilt trips. Neither did the judge who signed the order. Now my apartment is quiet, no porch speeches, no fake smiles, just me, my keys, and the peace I paid for myself.